Hey, what's up, fellow YouTubers, fellow toy nuts and toy collectors? This is Starscream 1988, and today we'll be bringing you another episode of Odie's Garage. And so my garage today consists of the VW Group. So again, that would be the Volkswagen Group. As you can see there are quite a few different types of cars. Volkswagen Group is a huge conglomerate of a company. They have slowly but surely have bought a lot of different cars out there in the market. One that I don't have here, I don't think I have any as of the showing, but they own Audi, they own Bugatti right there, as you can see. They own Porsche. The Porsche deal is a little bit weird. I'm still a little confused. At first I thought Porsche had bought VW, but they only own controlling interest in design decisions, I believe. So they own something like 50.7% of the company. It's just weird. I'm not 100% sure on that. If anybody knows better, you can school me. That's all good. As you can see here, I have a couple different generations of Volkswagens. On the back here, some Lamborghinis. I thought I had one out, but I can't find it. They also own Ducati, the Italian motorcycle company. The reason they own that is because of Lamborghini. They actually bought them because they were, I guess, a little in trouble, so they didn't want the company to die. So they figured they would help as they say, help a brother out. So they helped a fellow, countryman out. But as you can see, yeah, so they own quite a few flagship vehicles. They also own Bentley, which I don't have any Hot Wheels of Bentleys, but that's probably another one that they own. They also own Skoda, which I believe is Russian, and they own Seat, which is a company from Spain. They also makes automobiles. So they're a huge company. Volkswagen was created back in 1937, I believe. They came out with, between 1938 and all the way up to 2003, this little car here was produced. Now, if you're saying, whoa, 2003, you got the date wrong. Actually, no. If you lived in a third world country, whether it was either a socialist or communist country, this car was still being developed for them. This car originally came out in 1938 all the way up to, like I said, 2003, but originally it was made because Adolf Hitler commanded them to do this vehicle. They wanted a car for its people. If you don't know what VW stands for, it's People's Car. So at the time, the Nazi trust company or the Nazi trust union, something like that, they actually the ones that used to own a Volkswagen Group. So the Nazi party actually were the people that helped create this vehicle. They're the ones that put the money down for this vehicle to exist. But yeah, this vehicle, in terms of its mainstay, we probably saw it leave the United States, I want to say in the late 70s, early 80s. But again, it kept going in other parts of the world where, they don't allow, for example, no General Motors car. They're not going to allow Ford or Chrysler or anything like that. If anything, yeah, they stick to their European roots. So they might let Volkswagen, Mercedes or BMW in, and obviously Volkswagen, but they wouldn't let American brands or some other brands, whether they were, maybe Russian or Spanish or whatever. So it's pretty interesting. Interesting, the things that Volkswagen went through. I mean, they went through a world war and they made it, and now they're huge. I think they're second biggest only to Toyota. I think Toyota is still the biggest in the world. At one time, it used to be General Motors before they went almost belly up a few years ago, if you guys know, as you guys know. But I think it's now Toyota. It might be Volkswagen. And I think General Motors might be number 3 again, and then Ford and Chrysler, and then all these other companies, BMW and whatever not. But I could be wrong on some of those numbers. I know for a fact Toyota is number 1, and I'm pretty sure Volkswagen is number 2. So anyway, so I just showed you the Beetle. There's the Volkswagen Brasilia. The Brasilia is a car that was strictly made for the Brazil market. It's based off the Type 34 chassis, I believe, which was used here in the United States all the way up to like the 70s and very early 80s. And that would have been like your Jetta and your, what's the other car that I'm thinking? Jetta and your Golfs. And I think that's pretty much it. I think Passat was its own chassis. It was a little bit bigger of a chassis. So, pretty cool car. There is a version of this that would be a little bit higher tier. And that would be your KARMANN GHIA. And I'll get to that in a minute. And that's kind of the reason why I'm doing this video. Is I'm doing it because of the KARMANN GHIA. And I'll get to that car in a few minutes. But there would have been a version of this that was limited. little bit better horsepower, you know, suspension, all that good stuff. So it was cool. It was a reliable car, I guess. I've never seen one here, obviously, because you can only find them in Brazil, but sometimes there's some exports here and there. Next car here would be your, now a newer car, obviously. This is your Volkswagen Golf GTI. This car has been with us, the Golf name, for over 20 years now. So it's up there with like the Toyota Camry, and some of these other cars have been around for a long time, the Toyota Corolla and so forth. The GTI version is your higher performance version. It's, you know, it's out there to compete in with like the Honda Civic and the Ford Focus and other cars like that. It is definitely a very well built car. I've never owned one. I personally actually drive a Honda Civic Si, but it is a very well made car. And I'll be honest, I believe in terms of horsepower, spanks my car any day of the week. So it's real cool. It's a real nice car. The only thing better than this would be the R32, which is the all-wheel drive version. And those are very, very sweet. A lot heavier, probably 500 to 600 pounds heavier because of the all-wheel drive traction and all that. But it's a beautiful car. It really is nice. If I ever had to buy a Volkswagen, the only thing I would buy is this, a Golf GTI. So next car is the Beetle. And what's funny is, again, I showed you the original Beetle there. There was also Super Beetle throughout the years and stuff like that. But in 1998 all the way to 2010, for 12 years, they came out with the new Beetle model. And you know, I guess it sold well for them and whatever not. But for whatever reason, they stopped it 2 years ago. They killed it back in 2010. Now, you know, we're in 2012, and the new 2013s came out. As you guys know, obviously, they always do whatever year it is, it's a year over. But the 2013s came out. They revised it, made it better, more horsepower. It's a little bit, I got to be honest, it's kind of sexy. I like the fender wells. It's really nice, the flares, how they flare out. It looks a little bit nicer. It doesn't look that round like it used to. It has more style. And I wouldn't be surprised if Porsche actually had a little input on this particular version, because when you look at the back of this car, it looks like the Porsche Carrera. I'm probably saying that wrong, but the four-door version of the Porsche. So it looks a lot like it. The rear end's pretty funny. So and then the front's nice. It's not as it doesn't look like a bug anymore like it used to. So they brought the Beetle name back without having new Beetle, which is pretty cool. So the Beetle is back. So that's that. Now, last but not least, in terms of just Volkswagen as a brand, this is why I'm doing this video. Again, I'm doing this because I was speaking, or it was quick. I was looking at a Dodge Charger from Mr. Sensitivity. It's a beautiful Charger. It was the Daytona version. It had the Real Rider tires. I don't think it was a treasure hunt, but it was real nice. And I just said, oh, I love that car. It's beautiful. He's like, oh, you know, I like it too. He's like, something that I like more would be the KARMANN GHIA. It's my all-time favorite. So he said, I don't know if he said it's his all-time favorite Volkswagen or all-time favorite car of all time, but he said he loved it. So I said, oh, it's kind of funny because I actually have one. And it's the only thing that I kept. I actually got rid of all my Volkswagen a few years ago, so I have nothing but this. It's the only car that I kept. So he said, hey, would you do a video next time, you know, on this? And I said, oh, absolutely. So that was a few days ago. It's probably almost a week ago. But the problem was I only had this, and I had nothing else to showcase. So luckily, a few days ago, I went to Target, and I was able to get those other 4 Hot Wheels that you see there all in one visit, which is pretty cool. They had just filled up the pegs, and yeah, I grabbed them. I was like, oh, well, look at this. It's like, you know, Volkswagen City. So I grabbed the 4 that you see there. And then I just kind of thought of, as I went to do this video, I said, you know what? Let me just focus on the rest of the Volkswagen Group brands. But yeah, so very cool car. KARMANN GHIA. KARMANN. It's spelled K-A-R-M-A-N-N, was a German coach builder. I want to say, I guess it was a horse and carriage coach, maybe. I don't have too much information on that. I could be totally wrong, but that's what I looked up. And then Ghia was an Italian designer. So it would be kind of like your Chip Foose here in the United States, where if you give Chip Foose a Mustang, he just, you know, draws it, and then other people build it. So, you know, he built, you know, he draws it with the, you know, flared up fender flares and, you know, the low stands, the 20-inch rims and all that good stuff, and then you build it. So again, it's like your like your Shelby Mustang, third-party brand. It's like your what AMG is to Mercedes-Benz, and so forth and so on. So yeah, very cool car. This is the Type 14 KARMANN GHIA, and this ran from, I want to say, from 55 all the way to 74. It was like 19 years, something like that. So but yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful car. What's funny about this car, you know, a little history. When I bought this, I want to say, I don't want to exaggerate on the day, but I think it was like 8 to 10 years ago. There was 2 of them in the peg. I saw it, I loved it, fell in love with it. I bought both of them. I kid you not, I've never ever in my life have seen this car again, ever. I wish I could have found a black one, a red one, green one, whatever, but I've never seen this car again. Why did I buy 2 that day? I just thought it was a beautiful car. Turns out, like a year later, I'm looking at Lee's Toy Review. The car's going for, like, you know, their market price, $10 to $15 at the time. So I was like, oh wow, I'm glad I kept one mint in package. So then, like a couple years ago, I want to say maybe 2 years ago now, like back in 2010, maybe maybe 2009, I was going online. I saw people selling them. People wanted like $40 for this car. I was like, are you kidding me? So I sold mine, and I ended up getting for mine with shipping handling like 33 bucks. So I'm like, man, that's the best dollar I've ever spent in a long time. So I'm kind of sad that I got rid of it. As of this recording, I haven't even checked online to see if they're still worth that much or if they're worth more. One thing, it's kind of tough because obviously there's so many cars here, and I can't give you weight or vision, but this is really heavy. This is die cast from beginning to end, all of it. The whole thing is die cast, and I know there's a lot of die cast cars still. Not all of them have the plastic bottoms, but it is really heavy. It is the heaviest car out of all these cars here right now. So if I had a scale, I would honestly weigh it for you so you can see that it is the heaviest. The back here, it does open up, so you can kind of see the engine a little bit. Let's see if it focuses there. There we go. Come on, focus. There you go. So it's not too much detail. It seems to be, the engine is really tucked in there. So that's mostly going to be able to see there. So I don't know if this is meant to actually come out on purpose or it's just mine that's loose. But I like it. I like the fact that it just comes out. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, very gorgeous car. By the way, if I'm pretty sure you have, if you're watching this Hot Wheels video, that means you're a Hot Wheels fan. Please check out Mr. Sensitivity. His information is down there with a whole bunch of other people that are real cool. So please check out his videos. He does awesome customs and a lot of wheel swaps and stuff like that. So yeah, so that was your KARMANN GHIA Type 14. Very, very cool car. The rest of the cars here, I can kind of go real quick. You probably know them. There's your Bugatti Veyron. Another Bugatti Veyron. I know one of these are mystery ones. I can't remember which one. My favorite all-time Porsche. I know it's it's real ugly, but it's my favorite. This is the 928 Porsche. It was so ahead of its time. It was front engine. It was a V8. So sick car. I would love to own one someday. Here's your super expensive Porsche Carrera GT. As you can see there. Yellow one there. Over here, you have your Porsche 959 with the Ultra Hot. So this is a really old Hot Wheel that I have. Some newer versions. Here's the black one there with the lace rims. And then I got the silver one right here. 959. Cool. Back here I have a little fleet of 911 GT3s. I got this purple one here. This gray one here. These are all part of, I believe, of the 2000 first editions, and these are all the variants that you could get then. So, and then, you know, it wasn't like now. Now you definitely get 3 or 4 of the same car in terms of different colors. You get 3 or 4 different colors of the same car, but back then it was a little bit rare. I believe the silver there with the yellow spoiler is the rarest of the 3. So yeah, all 3 of these were from the same 2000 line, I believe. And then this one, I think I got a couple years later. So it's part of the just mainline regulars. You know, the 911 GT3. And then we have this 911 back here, and this is a GT1. Pretty ugly in my opinion, but it does the job. I mean, it's meant to be, you know, this squatted down and so flat. It's for that, you know, GT1 cups and stuff. So, and then last but not least, I have my V12 Lamborghinis. I'm not a huge Lamborghini fan like I am Ferrari, but whenever the new V12s come out, and I only buy the V12s, you know, the Gallardo is a beautiful Lamborghini, but it's a V8, or is it a V10? It was a V10, maybe it's a V8 now, I don't know, whatever, but, you know, it's not what to me Lamborghini is, so I only buy the V12s. So yeah, this is your Countach. I used to have a black version. I don't know what happened to it. Somewhere. Here's your Diablo. Now, other than Countach, the rest of these V12s are named after Italian bulls. So there was a bull, a championship bull in Italy called El Diablo. So that's what they named it after. I mean, if you've seen the badge, it's definitely it's a bull. You know, and Ferrari has a horse, the prancing horse or whatever. Or is the prancing horse the Porsche? I don't know. One of the two is they call the prancing horse. I want to say it's the Ferrari though. Here's another Diablo in blue. Then you have your Murciélago, which Murciélago is actually, I'm Spanish, so Murciélago is actually bat. So, and I do speak a little bit of Italian. I want to say Murciélago even over there is a bat. So that I believe the story was it was a black, very black bull. For some reason, it was a Murciélago family or something like that, or that's what they named it. So that's your Murciélago. And then last but not least, your latest Aventador, and this is the latest bull. And again, a V12. And I believe this is the LP. Obviously, this is the J, but the LP. I want to say 670. 670 horsepower. Thing's a beast. And then that was the convertible, obviously, and then here's your hardtop. And again, there've been other colors now recently, but you know, I'm not that huge of a fan, so that's why I don't have all the multiple colors in these cars. I don't really care. If it was a Mustang or Ferrari, then yeah, I try to buy them all. So that's basically it. So guys, as always, please rate, subscribe, share, comment, and please check out Mr. Sensitivity, as this was honestly his idea. He wanted me to show you guys all the KARMANN GHIA. So you guys take care. Thank you for always watching. See you guys later. Peace out.